This is Dianti, which is Camilla's young horse that she's bringing on. She has two, and this is the youngest and a mare. She's done terribly well so far, competing. She's going, we hope, to be an international prospect. She has fantastic breeding and temperament. And the idea today is to show you what we've been doing with her music. So I'm Amanda, and I'm a dressage music choreographer and music arranger, and I have been working with Camilla to design a test. So Camilla's come up with the floor plan. So we're going to talk about some of the ways the floor plan's been designed to help the horse, because she's young, and then we'll go into how we've chosen the music to suit the horse's paces. So she's a young horse, and Camilla has been working her really only since the beginning of this year. She loves her work. She's a very willing dressage horse. And Camilla has introduced her to music from quite early on. Both horses were lunged to music in their early days before they were ridden, which gives them a great sense of rhythm. Both of the horses, Rio, which is Camilla's gelding, and Dianti, respond very, very well to music, as do most horses actually. The music, if anything, is a desensitizing element. So once they have music and they can hear the music, they notice other things around them less. So we're hoping once the music goes on, she won't be looking at anybody that's here or what's going on. Now Camilla's just walking around at the moment just to get her used to the fact that you're all here. She's then going to start showing you just some of the patterns and shapes that she uses when she's schooling. So when you design a freestyle, you don't have to stick to what you see written in a dressage test. So if you're doing prelim, it doesn't have to be like any of the prelims. If you're doing a novice, it doesn't have to be like any of the novice tests. What they expect is to see certain elements. So certain size circles. At prelim, 20-metre circles in walk and trot. At novice, 20-metre circles in canter and 15-metre circles in trot. They like to see some changes of rein, some walk, some canter and some trot, but not particularly complicated at all. All the things that you might do with your horse at home, you can put into your freestyle. So that was a shallow loop, sort of thing that you would use to help your young horse, checking its balance, getting it into the left rein, getting it into the right rein, checking that it's straight, changing the bend. And that's an ideal thing to put into a freestyle dressage test, because nothing looks more boring than a horse that just goes round and round the outside. And very often you'll find with the prelim tests, they're very, very boring, because they get you to do a circle at one end and a circle at the other, and lots of straight lines, and that doesn't have to be the case. Time. Again, this can help you. So if your horse isn't good at serpentines, don't put it into your freestyle. But for most people, this is really going to help you get your horse's concentration. So a lot of people will put this in at the beginning of their freestyle. Now we're going to circle between B and E. That's a 15-metre circle, so we would expect to see that as an essential element of a novice test. You can put 15-metre circles into a prelim freestyle. You don't have to limit yourself to 20-metre circles. A change of rein, but just off the 3/4 line rather than going too deep into the corner. And back onto the circle in the other direction. So anything you put into a freestyle, it's good to have a mirror image of it on both reins, so the judge can check, yes, I've seen a circle on the left rein and I've seen a circle on the right rein. Tick. That'll be what you get your marks for. Transition into the corner, because of course that would help you. And onwards again. So that's another thing that you could put into a freestyle, just adds a bit of interest. You might see it in some of the prescribed tests. So Camilla might be out here, if she's putting a test together, or if I'm putting a choreography together for somebody, you might be out here for half an hour to an hour schooling your horse, and all of those elements are what you might put into your dressage freestyle. You of course don't want a dressage freestyle that lasts half an hour or an hour. You need between 4.5 and 5 minutes. So the idea is you start working your horse, and then you choose the bits that you really like, probably about 1 minute and 45 seconds of trot, about 45 seconds of walk, about 1 minute and 45 seconds of canter, and then just some entry music coming in, and time for your halt. And last moves into the halt. Change of rein on the long rein. Good place, because we very often train a horse to push into a corner and give a slightly longer stride. So if your horse is already trained to do that, and it's expecting to lengthen its stride on that long diagonal, that's a good point to put in your length and strides on your test. Later on, when the horse is more established, you can put them in on anywhere, on a circle, on a short diagonal, but maybe on a younger horse on a long diagonal is a good idea. Transitions into canter, you still get your marking for your transitions in your test between walk, trot and canter, but what you have to remember with the freestyle is that the transitions come with the music. So if you've got trot music, you don't want to be walking to your trot music or cantering to your walk music. And counter canter. Again, another thing we start fairly early with a horse's training. They want to see that from novice test onward. And they'll want to see that on both reins. But of course, with a younger horse, in its early stages of training, you're not taking too steep a diagonal into the counter canter, and you're giving it a lot of time to counter canter before you get into the corner. Or canter in a forward way. They don't want to see it held back or held up. They want to see this freedom of movement that you're getting here from Dianti. A horse that's happy to move forwards, and a rider that's happy to allow it to move forwards. You still get marks for harmony in freestyle. So it's not just about the harmony of the music, it's the harmony between the horse and rider. And there you see the longer diagonal, allowing the horse to show some counter canter on the long side without it being too difficult. And then the change at the corner. Now all of the elements that you see there will be part of Camilla's freestyle. Are you happy for me to put some music on now, Camilla? Right, so from here, once we've got the elements of the test together, we would start coming out here with some tracks of music to decide what is going to suit the horse. And by that we mean something that allows the horse to be in a good rhythm with the music, and also represents what we see in the horse. So although Dianti is very light in her way of going, she's quite a heavy-boned horse. So we couldn't have twinkly twinkly ballet music for her. It just doesn't depict how she is. So I'll put some tracks on, and you can see the process that we've gone through to decide which pieces of music work.